Radio. Alright, so anyways, before I start, this is what I've been up to. Check it out. There you go. That's like my header with the records and the whiteboard with Genesis 1. Down here there is the sideways crucifix. In here there is an actual dog bone, rawhide. It's the cell and abacus for good measure, and the 76 sucking in the 70s, sucking in the 70s by the Rolling Stones, which is the center of the 9x9 matrix. That's not live. Okay. This is what I found today. I'm going to tell you why. And we're going to talk about okay. I don't care if anyone's here. So we're going to start with this is the 9x17 matrix. Okay. And these values, I go here, I have them, but I just don't have them put here for simplicity of the now. What I was able to do was I just took this thing, I'm looking at this heart with the 12 cells, and I'm looking at a word guy. I decided to look at the word okay. Now okay is an O followed by a K. It's the 15th letter, the 5 letter, followed by the 11th letter, 1. You know, 3 makes 4 makes 5 kind of thing. So it looks like it's following a path and then going back, and then I think it's going to go down to the 76. Okay? So this is my hypothesis, and it makes a capital T. Okay? I hope you can see this. Now, that's what I took, and the red square is the 9x9, and these are the 2 other rows required to do the tip of the heart, which your very, very low bit resolution heart would look like that. Be made of 12 cells. Now, moving on. Okay? Okay. Yeah, let's go here. Okay, so we're going to talk about the depth into the Mandelbrot set of the verse okay. Now, we talked about what a verse is. I think a verse represents 800 because 800 is literally just 4 circles. And if you look at a 9x9 matrix, okay, that's broken into 4 quadrants. There's a circle here. There's a circle here. There's obviously a circle here and a circle here. You know, connected to a 1, like a 14, but not. So I said we're going to look into the Mandelbrot set, which means we're going to look at the different layers. Okay, so like this 9x9 matrix can be the word okay. This 9x9 matrix can be an O. This 9x9 matrix can be a K. The 9x9 matrix can be the number 15. The 9x9 matrix can be the number 11. The 9x9 matrix can be a 1. The 9x9 matrix can be a 5. At every time, look, you're going to have a 1x9, a 1x9 at the bottom and top, a 1x7, and a 1x7 connecting them. 9 plus 9 is 18. 18 plus 14 is 32. A circle made out of 32 cells will encircle no matter whatever it is you create when you're looking at that level of the Mandelbrot set. And 13 is key in teaching us this, which is the center of the heart, because it represents a 5, which is the center of Armageddon. You know the Superman diamond right here? I don't know if you can see my mouse. It's a 5, which is a 13. But we start with the 20, which is just the one below it. A circle 20 is a 21. All depends what level. Now, here's your level of depth into the Mandelbrot set. So we're going to go 6 stages deep. A type of what it is, how many invisible circles are there, and then the value of the word or the verse okay. So in purple, because purple is, you know, the highest chakra, but it's built with blue and red. So I was thinking like the voice chakra, you know, where everyone thinks. I think it's backwards, but whatever. You know, I'm just trying to think of a left and a right. So a blue and a red making a purple. Okay, so okay is a verse in cell U2. I think that's funny. A lot of nothing there, or 7D, meaning that in that cell there is a lot of dead space where there isn't black stuff to create things. There's a lot of nothing there. You have to understand that that is what's in the bubble. There's a whole lot of nothing, which when you look at the details of the nothing, they turn out to be stuff. And then there's what's created in the obvious now. So the OK itself is the cell. It is the U2 cell. It is the level 1 of the Mandelbrot set. Okay. It's showing you letters like a phrase OK, a verse OK, and it has one circle around it for the cell. But you know that because of the English language and what these letters are numerically, they add up to 26. 15 plus 11. OK, with the bracket, OK, bracket, is the verse OK read forwards and backwards. So now we've gone into the cell. So we left, let's say, the high ground now. The high ground is going to be the big circle, and then when you go a little bit below the high ground, you're going to have two circles there. Okay, you're going to be the second depth into the Mandelbrot set right here. You're looking at letters again and how to read them as a verse forward and backward. So there's two invisible circles. Now your value becomes 28. Then you're going to break down the letters of the verse into an O and a K. And that's our third level, and they're still dealing with letters, and there's two more invisible bubbles for a total of 30. O and K are the 15th and 11th letter, respectively, which have to be, allotted. Okay, it's a 1 by 2. Okay, it's a new creation. It's a double-digit number. So that's the fourth dimension we're going to have of number, and they're going to have two circles for both characters denoted by letters. So our sum is 32. When you break down the individual characters, you're going to get a 1, 5, 5, 1, 5, 1, 1. Okay, visible bubbles, you're going to have 5 deep, still in numbers, and you're going to have 4 additional circles to get to 36. Now, when you go lower than this, okay, there's many ways. You can do Roman numerals and all that crap, but I just said, keep it simple. Let's just break it down to binary, okay? Because you have to understand that a 0 is a 1, and if a 0 is a 1, they're all equivalent, and there's only one way of looking at it, okay? Because you can play around with it as much as you want as long as you have that many characters. Cool? And since you're dealing with only zeros and ones, in my snowman math, when you break down anything into numbers, zeros and ones, and then a final number, or it turns out that you don't have a final number and it's just zeros and ones, that I call the snowman ball of heaven, and then the leftover stuff goes in the earth. Okay, if you have 3 names and your 3 leftover numbers are 23, 5 and 10, no, not 10, 5 and 2, but there's a 0, 1 common to all of them, then the 0, 1 is your heaven, and those other numbers go into the earth. The bigger ball of the bottom of the snowman, where the heaven would be the taller ball or the head of the snowman. Okay. So anyways, 5 in binary is 101. That's, just a 1, 1. I didn't account for the zeros in front of them, because why? Save some space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters. Okay, that's your heaven. So there's level 6, has count 6, because you have to count. So if you sum up, the 26 is the initial value. The 1 circle, 2 circle, 2 circle, 2 circle, 4 circles, and the 6 of the binary. It sums down here really small to 43, which is right here. Okay. So 26 to 43, there are 17 circles not accounted for, is what it means. Okay. Just looking at the verse OK, right off the bat, you think it's 26, boom, right away there's 17 circles not accounted for. 17 is interesting because we just talked about OK. Let's go back to the left side. O and K. And I think we have to get to balance, which is a 13. And I think that the 3 by 1, is very much symbolizing a 13. So in its way is a 7 and a 10. Now I find that very interesting. Okay. So again, over here to the side, I have the 7 and a 10, total 17. I find that very amazing, interesting coincidence. Okay. Now, it's still incomplete because we're not at the 76, and it's incomplete because we didn't include for the KO. The verse OK, you can read it, like I said up here, forwards and backwards, because it counts for 2. But those 2 become many, because it's like a branch that has little babies. You know what I mean? So we're going to go depth into the manageable set, all the same titles up here. We're going to look at KO now. Now, because we've already done this guy, we've done this up to here. Okay. We're going to look at KO instead. As a dimensional lower, you're going to have 2 additional bubbles. Your 11, 15 instead of your 15, 11 for another 2 bubbles. And then your 1, 1, 1, 5 for your 4 bubbles is different. So if you take 43 and you add these guys, the sum at the bottom right here, really small, which, oh here, is 51. Which is right here, 51. Okay. So now it's interesting. And the reason we didn't count binary again and we didn't change the ones for zeros and the zeros for ones is because they've already been counted for and they're all equal. That's why this right here is there. So now, here's the deal, guy. 42 to 50. So we went from 26. Okay, oh, sorry, that should be, damn it, 43. 43 to 51, there are 8 circles not accounted for. That makes more sense, right? Okay, and that's the truth. We went from 26 to 43 to 51. Okay? We're not done yet. So the 8 circles not accounted for, just like there were 17 circles not accounted for over here. So now the 8 circles not accounted for, I believe, are right here. Okay, the 5, 7, 10. This is going to be expanded upon what we've learned earlier. What we learned earlier was the middle. We learned the 7, 10. So now we're going to make, instead of a 1 by 2, we're going to make a 1 by 4. Maybe for some kind of 42 code, or 402 code, or 204 code. Who knows, right? So all I see here is everything has a beginning and an end. I'm going to call that the beginning because it's a 5. And I'm going to count everything else as just a 1. And you add that together, you get 8. And those are your 8 missing. Okay, so again, your 26 base, your 17 forward, and your 8 backward for the accounting for the bubbles, or the invisible cells that everything is contained in. Okay, that's 25 things not accounted for. Is 51 subtotal, subtotal, because what did we do? Sadly, the total of all that work is a creation. It is trapped inside a cell. 51 is 52 at the end of the day, because you're done your work now. You can finally add your plus 1. So then you add your 1 to 51, you get 52, and 52 is just 26, 26, or, 7 plus 15 plus 4, right? GOD is 26. 7, 15, 4 equals the sum of 7, 15, 4, which is 26, equals that. Just hope I'm, there. Okay, so it's a double 26. So what do we have? We have, you read 52 backwards now, okay, and you plus 1 for the new creation because you're looking at it from a different point of view, and you get 25 plus 1 this is back to 26, and you get 26 God again. So I find it very interesting, okay, that we now have a 52 complete, and then another way of looking at the 52 to get back to what we started with a difference of 26, okay? It's like there's a trinity of GODs, which numerically just means a trinity of 26s, and a trinity of 26s equals 78, but you need to know that they came from 2 things. So it's like you need to know that because you're adding them, you need to add them in the proper units. So you're going to add a circled 51 to a circled 25. Okay? So a circled 51 plus a circled 25 is a circled 76. It goes back to balance. Okay, so total minus 2 plus from earlier. The 2 from earlier. 1 is a 26 and 1 is a 52 because you're creating a new balance. Okay, it goes back to the center of the 9 by 9 matrix. Okay, it goes back to this. Okay, it goes back to... Oh, where is it? No, it's not it. It goes back to this. The cat was there. See, a bone. Told you there was a bone, but the cat. What the heck? You know, 76 over here, which is the middle. The bone and the cat. And the 76. Enhance. 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 So that's just that. Okay. Now I'm not done, of course. Why would I be done? So of course we have to make another, and again, 5 to 1 style just means that I made a 1 by 5, from 2 different things. A 1 by 2 for the 7, 10, and a 1 by 4 for the 5 to 76. to like bridge, you know, these 4 with these 3. Maybe I'm thinking like, oh, these 3 are like the 3 wavelengths of the ultraviolet visual light spectrum, and then these 4 would be the 4 wavelengths of the infrared visual light spectrum, and how they cross and intersect is interesting and should be noted. Maybe it has something to do with the 340, which is like right here in the bottom of the heart. And let's do some heart math. So, OK over here is 15 on 11, which is a 26. An alternate version for writing OK is OKAY, which is adding a 1 for the A and a 25 for the Y. You sum these up together, you get 52, and I find that hilarious. I find that hilarious, guy. These two spellings. The total is the sum minus 2. Okay. Again, you add these together, you get 78. Minus 2, you get 76. Balance. Very interesting. So OK is 1511, which means 1511. Okay, it's like the capstone. It's like creating a most primitive shape in the 3rd dimension, because you are being shown depth. You're being showed a VYX plane, or how you traditionally think of it, an XYZ plane. You're seeing a triangle on an angle, on a tilt. 4 characters are used to show you this tilt. Okay. Now, check this out. The sum of the green stuff here to make all the way to 76 is 101, which to me can be reorchestrated to be something like 110, which is very important for 1 of 7 of 13 of 110 of 2143, or 1 of 7 of 13 of 110 of 2143, or 1 of 7 of 13 of 110 if you don't include the other numbers. Sorry, you might not see this very well. It's zoomed in as much as it can. Okay. So connect the T with the 110 in the heart. Now this red thing right here is very important. All it means is that this T of the visual light spectrum, connect it with this green heart you see at the 110, at this guy. Okay, so if you're going to connect, I don't know, that guy to that guy, maybe you'd have to like highlight and then go from one to the other, and then all these cells get accounted for. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, let's just keep that in mind for now. Now, back to the balance here. I think this is the line of balance, okay? And then I think that this is a line of balance, okay? So I think what's happening is that this part's going to come crashing over and clap with this part, with videotape scene board type dealios of Hollywood production, okay? Now, the reason being is that I just see some things in here I'll show you later. But I don't think that the 6 over here and the 91 comes with it, because it's the top of the heart. And it's divided by an 8, or an infinite. It's like being like fly specked and stuff. And at this resolution, I believe that the connection of the T with the 110 will more than make up for the 6 and the 91. In fact, I think it's where the 6 and the 91 come from. Okay, the 6 and the 91 of the lower heart are only created because of the capital T. Okay, this capital T right here, that guy, is only created. Sorry, that's created, and it creates these two by the time we get there. Okay, so we're not going to account for these two at the bottom in the heart. Okay, when we count these paler shade of middle balance green. Okay. Now, moving on, here we go. So how many magnets are required in a cellular energy device? We should all know that that answer is 3,858 magnets. 4 types. Cool? Now check it out. This yellow thing over here looks like a key. A key to the heart. I like, raise your hand, class, if you've ever heard the expression, unlock the key to my heart, or something. Okay, now notice how I circled right here the 6 and the 91. I put a purple box around them, okay, and this is a purple thing. The key is for the top of the heart, cells 6 and 91. Now, I just said count them. We're going to get to that. Before that, we're going to slide over here. Now, if this is your middle, okay, with balance, and this is your T, and this is your heart with the 6 and the 91 included. Look what's in the middle, guy. A 5 is a 13. Okay, it's literally in the middle, guy. A 5 is a 13. Therefore, the 1 on top of the 4 here, sorry, yeah, the 1 on top of the 4 here, because of the way the brackets are, going this way, okay, is the 6, like that side, and then this side over here, because like if you upside down the 6 and then read it backwards, bottom to top, it becomes a 91. And the right side, the left hand of God, here, this is the left hand of God, and this is the right hand of God, okay? Savvy? So I just find that it's very interesting that I said that a 13, if you count for the circle that goes around the cell and introduces all that nothing in the bubble of the 13, a 1 and a 3 is a 4 plus the bubble itself, that's a 5. That's a 5. Okay, so we're going to count stuff now. So we're going to count the T in heart math. Okay, so there it is. If you literally highlight everything that I said to account for at the top, down to the 76, and then you drag from the 76 over to the 110, but you don't account for the 91. So you count the 28, you count the 50, count the 235, count the 712, count the 2143, count the 110. Count the 1 of 7 of 13 while you're at it. Count the 8, 21, 340, count the 34, count the 55. Look in the bottom corner and it says 3858. Now doesn't that look like a clapboard right here? The Z column meeting with the 83 row. 38. 26. No, it's not 58. But anyway, yeah, doesn't that look like that? But like, at a 90-degree angle. Oh, that one seems to be well on its way. Okay, now look at the teeth. Okay, look at the teeth. Okay, we know that we have a 6. We know that we have a 91. Okay. Okay, so down here, again, I talk about the same thing. This side here is the 91, and this side here is the 6. But check it out. Right off the bat, I find it interesting because like we've already found that when you add 26 and 52, you get 78. And lo and behold, 28 and 50 in green sum to 78. Okay. I find that, just interesting. Now, so what's the 78? The 78 is a 15, is a 6. I wonder if that somehow accounts for the 6 over here. Well, maybe. Okay, what's left? 91. Okay, well, since I know the way that this column works, I think, like, if you highlight all that, oh, that's 101. So you have to lose 10. There, that's 91. Right there. 50, 28, and a 13. Maybe it's the 50, the 28, and then take a right angle to the 76, which is the middle of the 9x9 matrix. And that's, if you take the 76 as a 13, not as a 76, but as a 13, 50, 28, 13, there's your 91. Sums to 91. Okay, so it's really interestingly synchronistic. Okay, and then maybe this one up here and this one over here at the capstone account for like the circle that goes around this, like the literal green circle that goes around the 6 and the literal green circle that goes around the 91. Could be like this guy and this guy. Let's make them a darker shade of green for fun. And these as well, because I noticed that that was confusing more than it already might be. Okay? It's a little subtlety. Now, if you're taking care of this for both, used it for both the 6 and the 91, the 28 and the 50, but you've also used the 76, which is 13, and you've accounted for the +1 and the +1, and all you're left with is the Z column, meeting with the 83 column, row, I mean. Don't you think that everything I just said about how all of this crap up here, whoa, no, don't do whatever that is. All this crap up here accounts for the lonely little 6 and the 91 in the heart? you know, which coincidentally is exactly how many magnets I think you need in heaven. Green is in the middle. It's the middle chakra. Your heart is a green energy source, you know. But like, whatever. It's cool. We can make it red. Just red, guys. Maybe I'll put a green. Yeah, that'll be the worst possible background. There's your green heart. It's not your red heart. Hey, look, it looks like a Y. It looks like a capital Y. And over here, it looks like a capital T. I don't know. What word reminds you of that? Well, what was that? How's that? How does that fly with you? Is that savvy? Maybe I'll put T here. You know, maybe I should read it backwards. All right, all right. Yeah, I did some gematria. It was pretty cool. And then there was a lot. Like I couldn't. There was so many in this one guy that when I actually like posted it, it said like could not compute. Description too long. That happens. So like, where did I end? I ended somewhere, right? Usually you begin and then end. I ended at there, center of great tribulation, obviously. So like, there you go. So there's still all of this that I didn't put in there from the simple in English. So yeah, 34 thoughts guy. So and cut or something. So here, share, get shareable link, done. Go back here. Oh no, oh no, I have to take all that out, paste. Does it save? Hopefully it saves with that there. Why is my thing beeping at me? Someone's making my thing beep. I don't know why. So anyways, that's this. Okay, it's in the OK spreadsheet tab. Near the end, you gotta go all the way to the end. It's just there. I gotta go get a credit card. Apparently you need a credit card for Patreon, and since I don't have a credit card, I can't actually turn it on. But I really don't care about the old stuff at all, and neither should you, but I understand, and we'll have to take time to do that. But check out those photos, man. That was awesome. Look at that. Chabam! You want to come down the rabbit hole? Literally. What? That's there's your Holy Spirit guy. Look at the little magnets. Here are all the magnets in heaven. They go around this will be all underwater. Okay? All this is underwater. And all these magnets and stuff are going to be like in the water. But in the middle is going to be a bubble of air where we live. I thought that'd be a good avatar. And then like this, because the aspect ratio made me do like 14 or 1600 wide to 400 high. 16400. So like I had to take a really back picture, but I mean it seemed to work out, I guess. I think it's pretty cool. I don't know. I think everyone should do this. Like the Bible is just like an example of how one should live their life, and like why don't you decode your life instead of watching me do mine? Maybe it helps, but like relating to all. I didn't know how to sum it up. It capitalized something. Both. And it changes everything. I like that I put the abacus. Oh, I should have put the crayons. I don't have any crayons. Oh man, there should have been crayons. But there's no crayons. Alright, so now this is getting a little excessive. So like, yeah. I mean, yeah, weird vibes, guy. How do I turn this off? Oh yeah.